Hey everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Mel Goes Wild. Firstly, I just want to say thanks so much to everybody who liked, subscribed, messaged, shared, who became a patron. A huge thank you. The support has just been monumental. There's like over 1,000 views on the very first episode, and we almost have, I think, over 300 subscribers. I think I'm settling into this role in front of the camera a little bit better this week. The first week I was so nervous. I was like a robot. I was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Over the coming weeks and with each episode, my confidence will become better and better, and they might flow a little bit easier. On to today's episode. So, take two. We're talking about outdoor clothing accessories. So we're going to be talking about hats, buffs, gloves, socks, and talking about gaiters. Okay, so let's talk about hats. Hats are a barrier between your head and the outdoor elements. And in Ireland, we obviously have a lot of bad weather. So especially in winter, it's really paramount that you do have the right outdoor clothing accessories so that you feel comfortable, you feel warm, and you feel cozy when you're out on the trails and in our mountains. There are a lot of hats on the market made up of many different materials. My advice would be to familiarise yourself with the materials below. Then head to an Irish-owned outdoor store to try some on. A hat that fits my head may not necessarily fit yours. Below I have listed a few of my favourite hats. Remember, if you don't have the budget for a merino wool or technical waterproof beanie, the one you have will do the job. What you can do is bring whatever spare beanie you have at home just in case the other one gets wet when you're out on the trail. So there's loads of studies out there that say certain percentages of the amount of heat that escapes from your head from 10% to 40 to 45%. Whether it is 10% or 40 to 45%, it's still a lot of heat that is escaping from your noggin. So I think if you can, wear a hat, it's going to make your time spent outdoors more enjoyable. All right, let's talk about buffs. So I can't actually put mine on because I have my microphone here, but just to show you, this is what a buff looks like. It's basically just a tube of material. Most of them are made from merino wool. Some are polyester or a blend of different materials. And they're just a great accessory to have when you're out hiking, especially in winter and actually also in summer, but we're specifically talking about winter. So I wear mine in winter around my neck. It's just like an added bit of warmth around my neck. Some people choose to wear it around their wrists. You can also use it as a headband. There's a kind of card that comes with the buffs when you buy them, and it shows you all the multiple ways that you can actually wear a buff. And because of the material that it's made from, they're super, super, super warm and not antibacterial. So you can wear it for multiple days, multiple hikes, and it doesn't get as smelly. That's when you are buying the ones that are made from merino wool. All right, let's talk about gloves. So like in the first episode with clothing, there's a layering system, and the same goes for gloves. There's a layering system within gloves. I don't know why I keep doing this. Your liner should fit snug, but not too small. Circulation can get compromised, but not too big as airflow can get in. Your mid-layer should be roomy enough to be worn with liners underneath. And then your shell should fit pretty loosely as they're a layering piece. Water-resistant products repel water. Waterproof products are impenetrable to water. Keep this in mind when selecting a pair of gloves. Look for gloves with Gore-Tex, Polartec and other DWR fabrics to ensure waterproofing. And remember, our hands swell during prolonged physical activity like hiking, so to be sure to leave a little wiggle room. This week's top tip. If you're going on a hike, you're more than likely bringing a backpack. Bring spares of everything. Spare socks, a hat, a buff and gloves. You never know when your foot is going to be immersed into a bog or you're going to get caught out in a downpour. Okay, let's talk about socks. This is my favourite topic to talk about just because I've trialled and errored so many different brands, so many different materials and shapes and different cushioning and different heights, and I finally found the perfect pair of hiking socks. Now, in saying that, these are the perfect pair of hiking socks for me, so that may not necessarily, I don't know why I keep tripping over my words. may not necessarily work for you. But what I'm going to do is just give you some kind of like tips and tricks so that when you do go to buy a pair of hiking socks, that you feel kind of a little bit more confident in doing that. Socks are really made from a single fabric, but a blend that creates the right balance of comfort, warmth, durability, and fast drying. Also, as mentioned in the first episode, avoid cotton materials for your hiking socks. Below are some key features to look out for when you're buying your hiking socks. Also remember, the socks you buy will affect the amount of space you have in your hiking footwear. So it's best to get a pair of hiking socks. They don't make your boots feel too snug or too roomy, but just right. So it's important that, you do try. As I was saying, it's important for you to just try on loads of different brands, because one brand that suits me and fits me perfectly may not suit you. So go into store, try out some brands, and get some help from the store assistants. Gaiters can be a great additional layer of protection. Unless you're spending a lot of time out in the mountains, my recommendation would be to hold off adding these to your kit. Every week I answer some of our Gals Gone Wild community questions. First up, Wild Atlantic Exploring asks recommendations for waterproof hats, gloves and socks. Sealskins are a great brand that offer waterproof accessories. However, with any technical equipment like this, the price point is going to be a lot higher. Sinead asks some of my favourite hiking sock brands. Stance and Bridgedale are definitely my two favourites, and I've been wearing them for years. They provide warmth, cushioning and coziness. I just really love the patterns of Stance socks. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode or the previous episode, please do like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Some feedback is always helpful. If you have become a patron of Mel Goes Wild, I've linked it below. I just want to say thank you for your belief and your backing. And I look forward to recording next week's episode. And until then, make sure to get outdoors and go wild.